So Extreme Bench Race is around the corner again, and let me tell you, it is probably the biggest air rifle event I've ever been to. And believe it or not, it was the first and only air rifle competition I've ever competed in. And I didn't do really well in it because I went into that competition so unprepared, you won't believe it. No one told me, listen, do this, look out for that, or just coached me in such a way that, you know, I can just be prepared in some way. So I was such a noob when I went into that. I fell out so quickly, but the experience that I gained there was unbelievable. So I thought, you know, it will be a good idea to make you guys a video and just share something with you that I think is very important, and that is pellet sorting. So what I have in front of me here today are two different brands of 18.13 grain pellets. One is the JSB brand and the one is the FX brand. And this has nothing to do with the brands. It actually has to do with the dies. And now if I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think the FX 18.13 grain pellets also come out of the JSB factory. They just use a different die. So what I have done off camera is basically started sorting out these pellets. And what I found in both of the tins are basically three different types of pellets. Two different in weight, and the other one was just basically damaged pellets that I can't use. So I basically threw out the damaged pellets because obviously I'm not going to shoot them. And the scale that I've used is basically a very cheap scale, unfortunately with 1 decimal point. Which means I'm only going to get 1 decimal after the point. So if you want to basically be more accurate with this, it will be a good idea to get yourself a scale that has 2 decimal points, and then you can sort them out even better. But I think for today's demonstration, it will work perfectly fine. So with this specific scale, I've got basically 2 groups of pellets. One is 17 grain pellets according to this specific scale, and the other one showed 18.5 grain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot both of the brands. So it's going to be 4 groups, so we can see what the results is going to be out of this specific air rifle. And the air rifle I'm going to use is the Daystate Huntsman Revere. And the reason for that is this air rifle is extremely accurate. And the other point is the fact that I cannot tune it, so I cannot manipulate the outcome in any way. So it is a very, very good tool for this test for today. On top of the air rifle, I've got the brand new Vector Optics Sentinel X Pro. It's a bench race scope, so if you are into bench race shooting, rimfire or air rifles, I'll leave links down in the video description. You can go check it out. It's a really nice scope. It can go up to 40 times magnification. It's a second focal plane scope, and the reason for that is you don't want a big reticle to cover up your target. So again, a really, really nice scope. I hope the scope cam will pick up the reticle for you guys to see. So yeah. Then I'm also not going to use the magazine, and the reason for that is with these spring-loaded magazines, when they rotate to the next shot, it will sometimes damage the pellet ever so slightly. And if you are a bench race shooter and you want the best results you can get, please single load your air rifle. You're going to get way, way, way better results. But for hunting, it's more than okay to use a magazine, in my opinion. So today we are sitting in a workshop or warehouse, whatever you want to call it. We have 40 meters that we can shoot at, and there will be no wind that will affect the results at the end of the range as well. And the reason for that is in August here in South Africa, it's actually our windy month. So you will hear the door behind me banging sometimes because of the wind. So I wanted to take out all of the things and just show you guys what the results will be. I will weigh each pellet before I put it in, so we can just make sure we've got the right stuff going through the air rifle to get the best results down there. So I hope I can keep steady as well, because I forgot my air rifle rest as well at home. but nevertheless it's going to make for a fun video. So let's quickly jump into it and see what these pellets do downrange. Okay, so I'm going to start with the FX branded pellets first and see how they perform. I wanted to weigh them or each pellet before I shoot it, but the problem is with all the electronics inside of this building, the cameras, the wireless mics and whatever, the scale is doing some funky stuff. So an important thing to note is put your electronics in another room when you do your pellet sorting to get the best results at the end of the day. So the first ones I'm going to start with is the 18.5 grain pellets. I'm going to inspect each pellet before I load it into the gun, just to make sure that the skirts and the heads are also fine. So I'm going to load it in, and I'm going to hit record here so you guys can see what's going on. It won't be center, I've done it on purpose so you guys can see the groups very well. And that is 5 shots with the 18.5. Now let's quickly switch over to the 17 grain ones and see if they shoot any better. And there we go, 5 groups of the 17 grain ones, and it looks like the 17 grain ones shot fairly tighter than the 18.5 grain ones. So I'm not sure if that's just by luck, we'll have to see. Let's try the JSB brand and see if there's any difference when it comes to that, because it goes around batches as well. One batch might shoot a little bit better than the other. One thing is certain, now that I inspect every pellet before I put it in, is the JSB pellets have a deeper skirt, if I can call it that, compared to the FX one. But this is just, again, the different dyes that they use. It doesn't mean anything that the one is better than the other. You'll have to test to see which ones work the best out of your air rifle. So if the JSBs are going to work better out of this air rifle for me, I know that I won't go out and waste my money to buy the FX brand, and vice versa. So let's see. Oh, what a flyer. Again, that might have been the fact that I don't have like 2 decimals behind the point to show me the difference in the weight. So again, it shows you how important it is. It's a good thing it's happening on camera, because now you have first-hand experience of what the flyers are actually about. So that one might have been a little bit lighter, I'm not sure. Very interesting. I think we have enough air for the 17 grains of the JSBs. To be honest with you, none of those groups look better than the other one. So this brings me to how important it is basically after you've done this to clean out your barrel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to clean the barrel and see if we can't get better results. So this is not going to be an instructional video on how to clean your barrel. I think it's very self-explanatory. But what I like to do is I like to remove my barrel and then clean it. But with this air rifle, it's such a mission to do it because you have to take the whole action off to basically take the barrel out. And the transfer port sits at the bottom, which means all the gunk is going to fall into the transfer port, into the valve, and I don't want that. So I'm currently using Eagle Vision Cam scope mounts, and they have Picatinny rails on top, which makes it very nice and convenient in this specific scenario, because I can basically take my biports and mount them onto the scope like so. I know it looks weird, but you'll see in a sec why. Like that. Extend the legs, shift it like this, put it upside down. Now the transfer port sits on top, and I won't get any gunk into the valve, which is a plus point. So yeah, I'm not going to waste your time in showing exactly how I do it. I'm just going to quickly run through it. For those guys who are wondering what I'm using the patchworm system. It works much quicker than a cleaning rod, and I think it's much more efficient as well. I haven't cleaned out this barrel in ages, so let me quickly run through it, get this thing cleaned out, and then we can take it from there and see if the results is going to be different. I'm going to get it a bit closer for you guys to see. You can see how dirty it actually is. I'm going to run a couple of them through, and then I'll start with the clean patches and run through as well. These ones have ballistol on it, so it will loosen up all the crap inside of it and loosen up all the old lead and stuff. So it's definitely going to help quite a bit. So it's the clean barrel now, fresh, no shots put through it, new target down range. We're going to start with the 18.5 grains again of the FX and see how they perform first, to see if the first couple of shots out of a fresh barrel will basically also just fly around until it is basically lead in. I'm not sure what's the right term for it, but one guy once told me lead also acts as a lubricant. So it makes sense in one way, but the proof is in the pudding. So let's put it down range and see if it's that the case. That one opened up quite a bit. Just a bit low. But that group already started looking a bit better than the previous group. So I'm not sure if it's the lead or if it's the weight that this air rifle prefers. Almost like it's a pattern that's basically forming. If I take a look at the previous groups that are shot. I took a couple of shots with both of them just to put some lead through the barrel. So there's 20 shots that went through the barrel, and so far I can't really see an improvement that much other than the last group. So I'm gonna redo that group just to make sure it's not the case where we have to put some lead through the barrel. Let's see how it performs. Hopefully we'll get some better results. Here we go. That group is fairly big compared to the first group that I shot without cleaning the barrel. So not 100% sure why. Oh, what a beauty. Man, I like that result. That is beautiful. There you go. I apologize, the last group I forgot to press record on the scope cam, but nevertheless the group was not that good as well. So the interesting part that I want to show you is what will happen if you don't sort your pellets and you end up like me going to a bench race competition and you just basically hope for the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one pellet of the JSBs, which is the 17 grains. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to take one of the 18 grains. Then I'm going to take JSB 17 grain, which shot extremely well. And then the 18.5 grains, which didn't perform whatsoever well at all. And then the last ones which I didn't throw away, which were the ones that was damaged. Now I'm just gonna shake them a little bit. I'm not gonna pick anyone specifically. I'm just gonna take one out of the bag. It looks pretty bad. Then I'm gonna take them in my hand and then just roll them so they don't get damaged further. Place them out on the table. I'm not going to know which one is which now. I'm going to shoot another group for you at 40. And this is like a tin that you're going to buy that's unsorted. Now look at the groups downrange. It's going to be very interesting. I remember to record. So here we go. First shot. I'm going to try my best to keep as steady as possible, not to fluke this whole thing. I want to show you how bad these things can fly the day they want to. So here we go. Well, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. So I'm going to go fetch that one, the target, quickly. I'm going to show you the results and then just give you my final thoughts on this whole thing. I've moved in here for the lighting. It's just a bit better here so I can show you guys the results. But the verdict comes down to it. You have to clean your barrel. You have to let it in and make sure that you find the proper pellet that works out of your specific air rifle. Now I know it's going to take some time, but the results are worth it. So let's have a look at the results of the first group that I shot. And this was with a dirty barrel but with sorted pellets. And if we take a look at the first group with the FX 18.5 grain pellets out of that tin, you can see that the group is bigger than 10 millimeters, which is not really good in my opinion, if I can say so myself. And having a look at the 17 grain ones of the FX with the dirty barrel, we're getting closer to that 10 millimeter group, but it's yeah, it's still fairly big. I don't think it's good enough to go shoot bench rest. The JSB ones just completely fell out of the bus. There you can see it's really big, the 18.5 grainers, and then the 17 grainers were also just way too big. After cleaning the barrel, there was no lead inside of the barrel whatsoever, and again we can see that the groups are actually much bigger, because like I said, I think that the lead actually works as a lubricant as well. But here you can see how tight those groups are, and that this won't work at all for bench rest shooting. Then after we took a couple of shots and there was lead inside of the barrel, we can actually see that the right pellet is also still needed to get a better group. Where the best group was actually shot with the FX 17 grainer ones, we had a flyer. I think if I had a better scale to sort out my pellets, I think that group would have been much more tighter. But here you can see the groups as well. It is important for lead to be inside of the barrel as well. Then the last group with the mixed pellets, you can see you will end up like me and just embarrass yourself when you go to a competition without sorting your pellets at all. And even if the barrel is clean, you're still not going to get the results that you are looking for. So basically, all in all, like I said, it is very important to look for the right pellet for your air rifle. And then obviously there's a lot of other technical things that I just don't want to put in this video. I don't want to make it too long. But velocity, right pellet, clean barrel, and then also practice. All those things come together, and if the recipe is good enough, you're going to have some good results at the end of the day as well. But I'm happy with this, how it came out, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. If you are interested in a rifle like this, I'll have links down in the video description, and also for the scope as well, and basically all the products that I'm using. If you found this video entertaining in any way and helpful, please give it a like. It really helps my channel out. And if you want to see more videos like this and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can be notified with all the upcoming content. Thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Cheers.